What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're working on one of the projects that I've been working on for a few months. I'm making a multiplayer party game that's based on that one TV show called Shark Tank. So you and your buddies are gonna make an invention and then pitch the invention to each other. It's the gist of the game. So let's take a look at what I got so far. Does not look like much. I pretty much had the whole gameplay loop laid out, but I needed to start working on the multiplayer. And if you don't know, multiplayer is very, very hard to do, and it pretty much messes up your whole single player project when you start implementing it. So I could show you a little bit of what I got here, but it's not going to be a great demonstration. But I can click host and you can see my little guy here. I made it where his mouth moves based on your mic, which is pretty sick, and yeah, it's a little shark guy because we're making a Shark Tank clone. So let's start the game. So pretty much all your buddies and you are going to jump into this lobby, and you guys are just going to be hanging out till everybody's in the game. Then everyone's going to ready up. So what you would do is you would design and make a product, and then you would present like we are right now. But it's the timing is a little out of order right now, so I guess we're presenting first. One of you would be on stage, and then you would start presenting your product. Alright, that's as in-depth as I'm going to go in right now, but this is what we have in store today. We have a few issues that we need to solve. Right now we have a ton of big issues that before these are solved, there's no game pretty much. So the main issue right now is I have to sync drawings. So the way that you're going to create your product is you're actually going to draw it using this drawing system that I created. So I need to somehow send the drawings over the network. I've never done that before. I have no idea how I would go about doing that. So let me show you what the drawing system looks like. I'm gonna move this down to its appropriate spot. So this is like the drawing program that I made. Right now I have all these debug things that are in the way of me actually selecting. Oh no, I can still select. But anyway, this is the drawing system I made. You're able to undo, erase, get a marker, all that crazy stuff. So this is where you would draw your product. Let's say I have like some sort of ray gun or something. You would draw it right here, and then you would pitch it to your friends. That's pretty much it. So I have to figure out a way to take this drawing and get it on every person's computer, pretty much. So let's do some research into how to do that. And how do you do research? Good old chat GPT. So it kind of showed me how to do it, but I do not know how to use it. How would I use it? So ChatGPT gave me like a rough idea on how to send images over the network, but this doesn't really help me. So I figured I'd just paste my script in there and see if it would figure it out itself. Okay, it turned my drawing manager into a network behavior, which I don't want to do because network behaviors cannot hold variables like this. Oh, they can, but you can't drag them in because it gets destroyed and reinstantiated at the start of the game. So I'm going to try to put the sending logic into a separate script. So trust that this is working. I could see a lot of potential issues with how they implemented the original code, but I decided to just paste it in there and fix any problems as they came. And they did. Why is it giving me errors? Unknown symbol. This is missing literally everything. There's no way that's my entire drawing manager script. Yeah, you just skipped over like my whole drawing script. So that script looks like everything is working. So let's see what happens. So if it works as I think it will, it'll just display the drawing somewhere within the scene. I'll draw that, submit. Let's see if that spawned a texture anywhere. So it's supposed to save and place my drawing in the scene somewhere, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working, but ChatGPT made it where no errors would pop up. Luckily I caught this. I see what the issue is. It's trying to use a singleton to access the network texture sender, but you can't do that with network objects because they get reinstantiated and then the singleton breaks for some reason. So you have to use tags, or at least that's how I access it. So I'll just create a network texture sender tag, and instead of accessing this through a singleton from this script, I'm going to find an object with this tag. Scroll up a bit. I got to find where it says network texture sender. Network texture sender. Alright, so all we're going to do is go game object dot get component. Got to get the script on this component. This should work. So I just got it using the tag, and I got the script on the object. So hopefully this will send it over to all the other clients and we'll be all set. If I could figure this out, I'm going to reward myself with a diet Dr. Pepper. No errors so far. So I don't see anything. Let's try it again. Post, send. We should be seeing this texture somewhere. Submit art. And it's saying that it's right here. So it seemed like everything was working fine now. The object was actually getting spawned in the scene, but for some reason there was no texture on the object. So I thought at first that it was because the texture actually wasn't being sent over the network. I talked to ChatGPT for a second, but then I realized what it was. Still no texture. Let's go to the inspector. It shows like a blank, but it doesn't say nothing. See, it does receive the texture. It's just not displaying correctly. It has it. It's not named anything, and it's not showing. Oh, it's because it's not under a canvas. Dumb ChatGPT. So let's go. Network texture sender. Right. Control A, Control V. All UI in Unity has to be underneath a canvas, and this UI was not under a canvas, so that's why it wasn't working. But after a little bit, I got the texture working just fine. What in the world? It's still not showing up. Oh, it is. Okay, it's there. Thank the Lord. So I made it where you could draw and then send the image over the server and have it spawn in. Now I just got to make sure that every player could see it. I'm not going to go get a diet scope until I approve that this works on the client as well. Which, let's be real, it doesn't. It's not going to work. I'll make this side the client. If you guys don't know, I just have a different monitor with the other game running. Alright, now let's start the game. Start. Do a big drawing. Make it different on both of them. I'm going to draw something inappropriate on the other one. Submit. Submit. Something's wrong. On the drawing manager at 295. Oh, you know what? I know why. I know why. It's because we have to make this network texture sender a prefab and then register it with the network manager. Because if we don't do that, then the other game does not know to replicate it. Oh, it's already in there. So, file save, draw something inappropriate, draw something not so inappropriate. Let's see if both of them get sent. Look at that. That is the flower I drew on the other monitor. But there is an issue. I cannot submit the art. And you know why? You know why? It is because these textures that I'm spawning, I can't click through them. I have to make it where I can click through them. So all I have to do for that is I gotta access a raycast target and set that to false. There we go. That should work. Okay, let's see what happens. Start, draw a flower over here. And I'm even gonna throw in a little bit of color, see what happens. I fixed an issue where you couldn't click a button once the image popped up. It was just because there was a setting toggle that made it where I can't click through images. But after that I realized a separate problem where only the host was able to send their image, so I had to make it where all clients could send all of their images. So quick trip back to ChatGPT, quick question later, we got all images on all clients. Let's go. This is one of the bigger hurdles that I thought this project was not going to be able to surpass, but we did it. I was so excited, in fact, that I turned into Megatron and short-circuited my mic. We did it. So I will be narrating the back half. I drew a sphere on both clients, submitted the art, and they both popped up. This completes the goal of syncing the drawings over the network. What was supposed to be a pretty easy task took me like a few hours with ChatGPT. So it just goes to show how much harder multiplayer development is. Maybe it's just a skill issue, but there was not only single player issues, but multiplayer issues that you have to deal with. So all I wanted to do is send an image over to a client, and it was just a ton of errors. Not just multiplayer specific errors, but just errors in general. So I mean, this is why people say that multiplayer is difficult. There's still a lot left to do on the project, but you know, honestly, it's been going smoother than my last multiplayer experiences, so pretty excited to see where this goes. So subscribe if you want to see more of this Shark Investors game. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.